Okay, here we go with the analysis video of the Yuki Tsunoda audio at Abu Dhabi 2021. Those last 5 laps after Nicholas Latifi crashed. So there's not a great deal to go into on this particular video. It's not going to expose things that we don't actually know, but that's not surprising. The Alpha Tauri team are the Red Bull B team. So you're not going to get any kind of smoking gun expose from them. Okay, let's be realistic about this. This thing was a contrivance, and so Alpha Tauri, being part of that Red Bull stable, they are not going to be behaving in a manner which is in any way going to cast doubt on this situation. All right, so that is going to be the dynamics of it. Okay, understand that. And if you want to argue against that, you can argue all day long. That's the truth of the situation. If you are part of the same organisation and an organisation has got a plan to contrive something, then you go along with that and you don't do anything that's going to jeopardise the success of that contrivance. And that is essentially what is going on. So let's look at, again, the race situation. At the point in time Latifi crashes, Tsunoda is in 6th position. He's 8 seconds behind Bottas. He's 2.6 seconds ahead of Gasly. Not lapped. Okay. Crucially, in that list, Hamilton, the leader, has come by Norris in 8th place, but he's not yet made it to Gasly. Hamilton's probably about 5 seconds behind Gasly at that stage. Verstappen, at that stage, had only lapped up till and including Daniel Ricciardo. All right. When Latifi crashes, Verstappen and Ricciardo pit, and whilst Verstappen and Ricciardo are in the pits, Charles Leclerc, who had previously been lapped by Verstappen, and Sebastian Vettel, who had previously been lapped by Verstappen, they unlapped themselves from Verstappen. So essentially in that race, now when Max Verstappen rejoins that track after pitting for fresh soft tyres, the 5 cars ahead of him that Lewis Hamilton has lapped, Max hasn't lapped now. So what happens is they just get shifted out of his way. Well, no. That can only happen by resetting the entire conditions for every competitor. But all they did in Abu Dhabi was, well, just move these 5 out of the way of Max, and off you 2 go. That's not allowed. What about the 2 that are in the way of Carlos Sainz having a go at Max? What was about the one that was in the way of Yuki Tsunoda having a direct go at Valtteri Bottas, because Mick Schumacher was holding Yuki Tsunoda back a fraction from being able to immediately challenge Bottas? Upon the restart, rather than being directly behind Bottas, it was Schumacher that was directly behind Bottas and Tsunoda who was directly behind Schumacher. So that already is an extra bit of time and distance that Tsunoda is lagging behind Bottas that he has to gain before he makes that overtake. In doing so, that eats time out of that lap and reduces the amount of time left for Tsunoda to then have a chance of challenging Sainz. And this is why it causes all these skewed outcomes. That is why we have regulation to say, right, before we go racing, after a race has been disrupted by the intervention of a safety car, we have to reset these conditions for all competitors before we go racing again. And that is the condition that is never explained to fans. The sports media lie to you. They lie to us all. Safety car, what's going to happen now? Right. It's not about that. It's safety car. That's neutralised racing. All of the previously built up advantages now get wiped out. All cars are going to end up nose to tail in the correct race order, and when everybody's in that condition, then and only then, after things have been made safe, because that's why we put the safety car on the track, to deal with a safety incident. Okay, so we make things safe. We achieve this condition, and then and only then can we go racing again. If the leader or anybody is, well, it would be anybody beyond the leader as well, but if the leader has begun lapping the cars further down that field, then cars have to re-establish the correct race order. They don't do that by dropping back. Okay, they do that by going around. You drop them back, it means they've done a lap less. Their tyres have had a lap less wear. The fuel load hasn't had to complete that additional lap. So you reset the conditions so that everybody's completed the same number of laps. Everybody's therefore worn the tyres the same amount, used the same amount of fuel, or, you know, had to cover the same amount of ground with that fuel load. So that is why you do it that way. Why don't the sport tell you that? Ask these questions. These are the questions you need to ask yourself, because when you derive the answers, I'll tell you the answers, but you need to believe these answers to be true. And the moment you start seeing it for what it truly is, you see that that is the regulation, that's the purpose of it. But why do the media lie about it? Why do they explain it other way? Why do they explain it in a manner where, oh, the reason they do this is to get those cars out of the way of the race between the leaders? It's not to get them out of the way of second being able to challenge first. Why did they not get them out of the way of third being able to challenge second? Where did they leave seventh place in that race and prevent him from challenging sixth? Work it all through and you'll see the real reason. So, again, sixth in the race for Tsunoda, doing okay in the race, but 8 seconds behind Bottas. Not really looking like he's going to catch Bottas. He's on old hard tyres, older than Bottas's tyres. At that stage, Tsunoda was on 28 lap old hard tyres. Tsunoda 28 lap old hard tyres, Bottas 21 lap old hard tyres. Championship position, Tsunoda is down in 14th position on 20 championship points. It's not going to be caught by Russell and Raikkonen behind him. They're both out of the race. Lance Stroll is 14 points ahead of him. You're not going to overturn 14 points unless you come third in that race. And at this stage, Tsunoda's in 6th. The chance of him getting third is unlikely. Like I say, on a restart with those fresh soft compound tyres, being right on the back of Bottas, without Schumacher in the way, he might have been able to overtake Bottas, and he might have been able to overtake Sainz for third. But that being said, it shouldn't have even taken place. So there's no point in working through a scenario that should have never taken place, because there wasn't time left in that event for it to take place, because those restart conditions had to be met first, and there wasn't time to carry out that procedure to go racing again. It was a safety car finish. So now I'm going to go through the video and we'll pick out what's necessary. But like I say, I don't think we're going to discover anything of any major significance in this. But there's still the odd thing. So we'll go through it and we'll just clarify a few things where people might have thought that there's an issue and it's probably not. Bear in mind this. Look at tracker view. Lewis Hamilton is about turn 8. Okay, so Verstappen is on that straight in between turn 5 and turn 6, the blue dot at that top straight along the top of the image there. Perez in third place has just rounded turn 1 and is this lone blue dot just past turn 1. The fourth place competitor in this race is Carlos Sainz, and it's the red dot that's about turn 11 is where Sainz is. So Sainz, whilst Hamilton, Verstappen and Perez are all on lap 53. Hamilton, Verstappen, Perez on lap 53. Sainz is on lap 52. And everybody behind Sainz is on lap 52. So if their race engineer tells them 6 laps to go, well, that's the situation for those cars. It's only Hamilton, Verstappen and Perez who have 5 laps to go at the end of this race. Okay? I keep saying the wrong thing. At the end of this lap. Okay, at the end of this lap. So Hamilton, Verstappen, Perez on lap 53 at the moment. When they complete this lap, they've got 5 laps to go. 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. There's your 5 laps that are remaining for those. But Sainz and all of those cars that are below Sainz in 4th in that race, they have 6 laps to go. So anyway, on from that, let's play the footage through and pick out anything else that needs addressing.
Braking 7 for stability. Suggestion, engine braking 7. Latifi out, turn 14 is on the outside, stay.
Latifi out, turn 14. Again, you know, often when we see a safety car situation, when we see an incident, we don't necessarily get the name of the driver that's in the incident called out straight away. What we would normally get, what we'd expect to see is incident at turn 14, car in the barrier. Okay? Because ultimately you need to convey to your driver that's going to be arriving on that scene very quickly that there's an incident that they need to be aware of. And therefore the notion of who it is, that shouldn't be a problem. You know, that's not really a concern. Play that again. TSUNODA on his way to 9, and let's look at the time involved. And is identifying that it's Nicholas Latifi, is that the issue? Or is it should be a case, car in the barrier at turn 14, keep left as you come round 14.
Suggestion, engine braking 7.
Okay, so Latifi's blue dot has come to a standstill there. All right, that's the moment that it's a crash. Look where TSUNODA is. He's just come round turn 9, so he's not going to be long before he gets there. Now, if you're a race engineer, you should be looking at tracker view and you should be looking at these dots, and you should be looking at the dots ahead of your driver's dot, so you're locating if there's an issue. Now, there are glitches, and occasionally you see a dot come to a standstill and then you'll see it jump and it'll be moving again because the GPS signal is sometimes fouled, okay? But if it's there, it's something you need to communicate to your driver saying, potential situation, turn 14. Also, on the dash of the driver on their steering wheel, they should get notification. Let's see if it's on there. Let's have a look at, I can't even do that because this is a pre-recording, isn't it? You can look at the driver's steering wheel to see on their display to see if they've got the notification that it's a safety car, yellow conditions.
Latifi out.
Okay, Latifi out. All right, now he'd come round turn 13. Remember as well what we need to consider when we're reviewing all of these, there's probably about a 4-second lag. So TSUNODA will have got that message probably 4 seconds before we've just heard it. Okay, and likewise, when TSUNODA speaks, he's probably said that about 4 seconds before we're hearing it. This is the lag that F1 TV appear to be using when we're watching this back. That affords them the time to beep out any swear words before that audio is broadcast to us. All right.
Turn 14 is on the outside. Stay in the inside. Stay on the inside.
First time past the pits. Doesn't pit. Why doesn't he pit? Well, Hamilton, knowing that Gasly was about 5 seconds up the road, and TSUNODA was another 2.8 seconds ahead of that. TSUNODA's only 8 seconds ahead of Hamilton. If TSUNODA goes into the pits now, he's going to get lapped. Okay? Now, not only is he going to get lapped, but that shouldn't be a problem in any case because you'd still be eligible to unlap. If Norris stays out on track, and Norris has only recently pitted for that fresh medium set because he'd had this supposed slow puncture, Norris will stay out. Norris will pass TSUNODA, so he'll drop in behind Norris. Behind Norris is Alonso. Will Alonso make it by in time? So these are the concerns of when you choose whether or not to pit. So those people that say, oh, Hamilton should have pitted. Hamilton was 12 seconds ahead of Verstappen. Okay? TSUNODA is about, 8-9 seconds ahead of Hamilton. He doesn't pit. He doesn't want to get lapped, but TSUNODA is probably about 10 or 12 seconds ahead of Norris. Maybe slightly more, but he still doesn't pit. Doesn't want to risk losing position to Norris or Alonso. But they do pit him when they've built up the window. He's in a position where he can get away from that safety car snake. He's not held back by the safety car. If I showed you the audio, when TSUNODA actually gets to about turn 3, turn 4, you'll see the safety car on track. And I might try and show you that.
Safety car, follow the reference, mode 14, mode 14. temperature on the front, Yuki. Big focus on front tire temperature. Is 6 laps to go.
Brake offset.
Offset.
Okay, so you're hearing brake offset, offset. Let's go to the actual in-car footage now. Okay, this is Tsunoda rounding turn 2. You'll see him go to turn 3, which is where the pit exit is. You'll see the white line on the edge of the left-hand side of the track, where the pit exit merges onto the track. You're now going to hear him say brake offset.
Brake offset.
Okay, so this on the left-hand side is the pit lane rejoining the track.
Offset 7.
That there where we've just crossed that line, that's the safety car line on pit exit. Up here on the track, these bright lights, I believe it's a safety car. Now, when we look at Valtteri Bottas's car, which is going to be the next video, we don't seem to see the safety car. I can't seem to pick the safety car up on Valtteri Bottas's in-car footage. So, it's my belief that the safety car joins the track in between Bottas and Tsunoda.
Offset 7 is good.
So you see the light? I can only show you this for a limited time.
Offset 7.
Broken. The bright light ahead.
And the
safety car, you see the green light illuminated there where the registration plate would normally be. And that is indicating to Tsunoda that he can pass the safety car and continue around that track. Okay, that is so what happened is, because they're ahead of Hamilton hasn't lapped them yet. Tsunoda will be freed past the safety car. Gasly will be freed past the safety car. They'll continue their way around the track, but that green light will turn to red and Hamilton will be held back by that safety car light. And that is how this safety car situation begins, with this procedure enacted like that. Okay, just so that you're aware of this is what the dynamics were on track at that moment. So despite the safety car appearing to hit the track in between the locations of Bottas and Tsunoda, and we'll go through this with Bottas just to confirm, okay, Tsunoda and Gasly are released and the safety car then picks up Hamilton. So on this video, the actual location we're looking for is going to be between turn 4 and where Bottas is now will be the time that Tsunoda is passing that safety car. And like I say, Gasly will be waved by it, who's the grey dot that's approaching turn 2. But Hamilton, that's now just beginning lap 54, well, he'll be the one that's the first car held up by that safety car. Like I say, Bottas at this stage is here, approaching turn 5. But by the time that Tsunoda gets to turn 4, Bottas looks to have rounded turn 5 and be going down the back straight towards turn 6. Hence why I believe that the safety car was deployed and hit the track in between Bottas and Tsunoda.
7. Offset 7 is good. Offset 7.
And when safety car finish, what offset?
So with Tsunoda saying, and when safety car finished, now I don't think he's referring to this event ending as a safety car finish. What I believe he's referring to is, when the safety car period is over, what setting will I need? That's the way I understood his communication to be. I might be wrong, but that's the way I understood. That's what I felt that he was saying with that.
Will be 3 for the restart. So 7 now will be 3 for the restart.
Straight away, yeah, it will be 3 for the restart. There's no talk that there won't be a restart. The reality is now, Hamilton is now at just gone past turn 4. He's got 4 and a bit laps to go. 4 and what? 3/4 of a lap to go. These incidents take about 5.5 laps to deal with on average. There are only 5.4 laps of the race remaining when Latifi stuck it into the wall, into the barrier. It's highly likely it's going to be a safety car finish, and yet they just go, yeah, for the restart, we'll be that.
keep following the reference. Stay positive.
So if you now look at the relative speeds, so if you look at the dot of Hamilton that's at turn 5, and you look at the grey dots of Gasly and Tsunoda, they will begin moving away. They're all travelling to a delta speed at the moment. Okay, but that delta speed, the safety car speed, is slower than the delta speed. So if you're travelling at the delta speed, you're going to catch the safety car. And when you catch the safety car, you've got to slow to safety car speed. And the next car behind will catch that and then slow to that speed, and it will form this snake up. But if you're not held back by the safety car, you continue around that track at delta speed and you'll go away from that safety car. And after 2 laps, you're not even restricted by that delta speed. You can catch that safety car at faster speed then. By 2 laps, you should be aware of where the issue is on track, and therefore you should know whereabouts around that lap you need to be obeying the notion of yellow flags and slowing right down as you pass the incident. But the rest of the lap should be safe for you to travel at a faster speed. That being said, if a secondary incident takes place at a different location around the track, the drivers need to be informed of the other danger elsewhere. And therefore, they might get another notification of, well, you also need to be slow around this point of the track. So these are, again, all different parts of the dynamics that you have to employ due to safety consideration.
Yuki to Gasly is 10.7 apex speed, and
you might have just noticed Max Verstappen's blue dot kind of jumped onto that straight and then back. This is what I'm saying. Sometimes there's glitching on the GPS signal and how it shows on track view. That happens. But, you know, that's something you just got to be aware of. You'll see that Gasly, Tsunoda are moving away from Hamilton. The cars behind Hamilton are beginning to bunch with Hamilton. This is the notion of what happens.
turn 9 he was more aggressive on exit, on throttle.
Now this is actually driver coaching, all right, and that's not allowed. Yuki Tsunoda's race engineer is advising Yuki where his teammate is faster around sections of that track than Yuki is. Now that is essentially giving him information during a race which is going to impact his performance. Yeah, Pierre Gasly is able to go faster around there than you are. You should be able to go faster around there. Stay on the gas a bit longer. You're not allowed to coach drivers around the lap. So let's just listen to that again.
Yuki to Gasly is 10.7 apex speed, and turn 9 he was more aggressive on exit, on throttle.
You're not allowed to coach your drivers during a race. That's illegal.
Do you need anything from the tools there?
No, the seats are about grip, just that.
Just we want to help you. Box, Yuki box, we box for stop.
Okay, so second time around, it's been twice past the Latifi incident now. This is the second time he's reached the pit entrance. Now he's boxing. He's far enough ahead of the safety car snake to go in the pits and out of the pits without getting lapped. If he was to get lapped now, he wouldn't be eligible to be released. All right. But Gasly will pass him. If his teammate doesn't box, Gasly will stay out on track and will pass him. So what do AlphaTauri do? They pick Gasly the next lap. They don't disadvantage one of their drivers relative to the other one. They put both of their drivers on fresh soft compound tyres, but they ensure that they don't lose positions to each other. that wouldn't be fair on either of those drivers, would it? So this is how they do it.
Flat out pit exit and then follow the reference.
So rejoining the track now. When they're on that pit road, the exit road from the pits, they can go flat out. They're not restricted to the delta. They can travel faster than safety car speeds. This is all part of the safety car rules as well. And actually then, a bit later on, they will say, actually, you're no longer restricted to the delta. You can go flat out to catch the back of the pack. Look at the gap that they've now pulled out over Hamilton, who's behind the safety car. Yuki, having pitted, is still that much ahead. Gasly, who was behind Yuki Tsunoda, is now up there at turn 5. Again, compare that to where they were last lap.
And now follow the reference.
And there was the glitch that I was talking about occasionally. Yuki's dot came to a standstill temporarily, but then jumped to where it actually is on track. These are the things that the race engineer needs to monitor, but if it's stationary for a period of time, they need to be informing their driver. There's a potential incident there. So, race leader Hamilton now beginning lap 55 of the race.
Okay, Yuki, you can push on tires to catch the safety car. You can push on tires to catch the safety car now. No more need to follow the reference. The safety car is in turn 2. Engine 7 position 2, engine 7 position 2. 4 laps to go at the moment. Flat out to catch the cars. Just stay on the left at turn 14, stay careful. Stay left turn 14. Catching the safety car is in turn 6.
Gasly's pitted, fresh off to Gasly, and he'll re-emerge now behind Tsunoda again. So it's as you were. Perez has caught up with the back of the pack. We've still got Sainz and Bottas, Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda and Gasly yet to catch the safety car snake. And this is lap 55.
Okay, Yuki. The car is turn 9 at the moment. The car is in turn 9 at the moment. So we keep catching it. We have 3 cars in front. We cannot overtake. Just follow these cars. Follow these cars.
Okay, we've got 3 cars in front we cannot overtake. Well, that's normal. Under a safety car situation, you can't overtake until you're told otherwise. You just got to follow the car in front. So that's just normal safety car rules. Leaders are coming past the incident now. That's the moment in time on this lap where when you cut to the driver cams that are just passing 14 now, the crane is removing Latifi's car off the track at turn 14. Okay, Hamilton is now beginning lap 56, the crucial lap, the lap upon which any cars that have been lapped that are eligible to do so need to be released in order for any racing to resume in this race. The lapped cars have got to be released this lap, lap 56, and have passed the leader in the safety car by the end of this lap, so that lap 57 can be afforded to them with which to attempt to catch the back of the pack, and that's the only way that lap 58 can be a racing lap. So let's see how Alpha Tauri described this lap.
Safety car is in last corner. 4 the cars.
Again, there was a 4-second lag, so that's why you need to just bear that in mind.
So safety car is in turn 5 and the car's on turn 2 now, so yeah, close to catch the pack.
Why the house is moving? The guys
He's lapped, so he's going to unlap himself. Now he's going away, he's going to unlap himself.
Okay, so Yuki's asking what's going on with the Haas that's in front of him, because he knows that the car that he wants to be challenging is Bottas, and that's not Bottas. And his race engineers, yeah, that's fine, he's going to unlap himself, which is standard. That's what will have to happen before racing can resume. Now, what you need to understand is that Charles Leclerc in that Ferrari, which is not the one that's just 3 cars in front of Tsunoda, it's the one that is just the 4th car back after Hamilton. At, where are we? Approximately this moment here, just a second or two beyond this moment, Leclerc gets the message that lapped cars will not be unlapping. Listen to this. So by now, Leclerc knows that lapped cars will not be unlapping. Ferrari have managed to communicate that to him.
So safety car is in turn 5 and the car's on turn 2 now, so yeah, close to catch the pack.
why the house is moving? The guys
He's lapped, so he's going to unlap himself. Now he's going away, he's going to unlap himself. So and keep put temperature on the front, keep put temperature on the front. So Yuki, these cars will not going to be on lap, so Schumacher is a blue flag at the start.
So it takes till this point before Yuki Tsunoda is notified of that. Over a minute later, then Leclerc was notified about lapped cars will not be unlapping. And Tsunoda now is in 5th, and he wants to challenge Bottas in 4th. And his race engineer, knowing that you're disadvantaged by this, hang on a minute, you're holding me back from being able to challenge Bottas, the car that's now in front of me. That's going to impact my chances of finishing higher in this race than him. Why am I accepting the rules being broken? But like I say, it's AlphaTauri. They're not going to kick off about this. They'll go with what Red Bull are doing. They should be complaining. They're being negatively impacted by the fact that Mick Schumacher is being left in situ.
He need to let you by, and we are racing Bottas in front of you. Bottas is on very old hard. Sainz in front of him is on old hard as well.
Yeah, he might be on very old hard, but he wasn't on as harder tyres as as older tyres as Lewis Hamilton was on. If we go to, which one is it? Is it now? I've moved it off there now. I was on data view there. It showed you that Bottas changed onto those hards after 20 odd laps on the mediums. Lewis Hamilton started on mediums, but Mercedes pitted him in after about 13 laps, meaning he'd had to spend from then onwards on the hard tyre. So yeah, Bottas's whole tyres were old, but Hamilton's were a lot older.
What others?
Then there is Stroll in front is lapped in front of Sainz. Behind you Gasly pitted for soft as well, and there is nobody behind Gasly.
There is nobody behind Gasly, so you've not got to worry about anybody other than your teammate who's behind you. You're in 5th position, but only your teammate is the car behind you, so everybody else in the race have the 14 cars that remain. You haven't got to worry about Yuki. That's a nice position to be in, isn't it?
Safety car is staying out. Safety car is staying out.
The reason the safety car is staying out is because it's not safe yet. They've all come by turn 14. As they came by 14, those cars in and around Verstappen's car at that stage, who was actually the 7th car in that safety car snake. Hamilton was first, then there were the 5 cars that Hamilton had lapped, then it was Verstappen's car. So Verstappen and what would it have been, Ricciardo and Stroll and Sainz, as they came by there, you'd have been seeing those last marshals in the orange overalls jumping over the barrier at turn 14. And now we're on lap 56. No, we're not. We're on lap 57. Lap 57, well, that means it's a safety car finish. Safety car finish, completely confirmed now. Even if you release the lapped cars this lap, then the safety car will return to the pits at the end of the following lap. So at the end of lap 58, well, that's the end of the race. That's where the checkered flag is. There can be no overtaking prior to those cars crossing that start-finish line. So that running order behind the safety car becomes the finishing order in that race, providing nobody breaks down or suffers a mechanical failure, puncture, whatever it might be, or crashes. Providing that doesn't happen, it's the finishing order will be that running order behind that safety car.
Out. Work on brakes and on front tyres. Work on brakes, straight line and on front tyres.
Why are you saying work on the brakes? We're now on to lap 57. It's a safety car finish. So you haven't got to keep preparing your car for going racing when you know there is going to be no racing.
There is 2 laps remaining now. 2 laps remaining. Temperature on tyres and brakes when you can. Tyres and brakes when you can.
Again, still trying to get his driver to prepare to go racing when the regulations dictate that there can be no racing. So that is not in accordance with the rules and regulations of the sport. This is the AlphaTauri team being complicit with breaking the rules and regulations of the sport in order to resume racing. They're guilty of that.
Engine 10 position 2, engine 10 position 2.
They're now saying lapped cars may overtake. So Norris, Alonso, Ocon, Leclerc, Vettel, and it's ending, wow! Michael. Seem to know that bit. I wonder, some of you might know that off by heart as well.
Safety car in this lap, safety car in this lap, engine 13 position.
Okay, so you are again smoothly communicating to your driver, these rules are being broken, but we're going racing. It's not allowed.
Position 10, engine 13, position 10. Mode 1, mode 1. Charge on will be engine 11 position 3, engine 11 position 3 will be charge off before starting. We are racing from control line and will be 1 lap to go, only 1 lap.
So again, Yuki Tsunoda, you get 1 lap to try and catch the car in front and overtake Bottas. Lando Norris, who was only a few seconds behind you when Nicholas Latifi crashed. Oh yeah, you've got to do 2 laps, Lando. You can't catch Pierre Gasly, you can't catch Yuki Tsunoda, but you've got to make sure that the 4 cars that are behind you don't overtake you. Is that fair to all competitors? No, it's not. And this is the lap that these 5 cars here that are just gone round turn 5, they should not be racing. This is the lap that's afforded to them to make it around the track without overtaking at a reasonable speed, making every effort to catch the back of the safety car snake. That is the lap. They should not be racing now. It's a breach of the regulations to even allow these to race around this lap. But that's what they were made to do. And then they had another lap to do after that. And nobody said anything about that, did they? Who told you that? Did Sky Sports tell you that? Did the BBC tell you that? Did Motorsport tell you that? Did Autosport tell you that? Wherever you watch this, did they inform you that? No, they've all covered it up, haven't they?
That's a trick. Press not overtake.
So Tsunoda put the move in on Bottas at turn 6. Gasly's overtaking Bottas at turn 9. But Tsunoda doesn't get the chance to catch Sainz. Sainz was the faster car anyway. But having to be held back behind Schumacher, so not being able to attack Bottas until they got to turn 6, rather than have any chance of attacking him at turn 1 or turn 5. You know, he had to wait until turn 6, and by which stage Sainz had disappeared a bit of a further down the road. He created enough of a gap to be far enough ahead, so Tsunoda never got a chance to challenge Sainz for that 3rd position. Like I said, should never have got any chance of challenging anybody because the race needed to end behind the safety car. But by restarting like this, it still limits what he does have a chance of doing. This is why this is not the rules. This is why the regulations exist. Oh, let him race. We all want to see Yuki have a race, but he's only allowed to overtake Bottas, but nothing else. So what you're doing, you're putting a restriction on the bit that he can race, are you? So no, that's not how it works. So this notion of any doesn't mean all, any doesn't mean all creates this. Hence, context. Anybody that proposes, oh, any doesn't mean all, the FIA had got their own regulations wrong. No, they hadn't. They hadn't. And anybody that would like to suggest that legally that would win in court, you'll see. Oh, who's going to win the World Championship? Oh, well, Norris, Alonso, Ocon, Leclerc, Vettel, they're still racing on that next lap, aren't they? So there we go, Max absolutely deserved it. You absolutely deserved it, Max. You had no luck all season, apart from everything that I've said that he did have luck with.
That was before. Mega race.
That was P4, mega. Well, you were in P5 and you were 8 seconds behind the car that was in front of you, looking like you got no chance whatsoever. You did get a free pit stop, and then you were able to easily pass that car that was in front of you on that illegal restart. Hooray for you, Yuki. Hooray for you. Absolutely deserved it. You had no luck. So not only was this race set up for Max Verstappen, it was also set up for a driver in the Red Bull B team.
Man, nice one. Oh, good way to finish the race, man.
It's the best way to finish the year, Yuki. Fantastic.
Thank you, guys. Can we do this for the next 10 years?
Well, honestly, thanks for holding that whole year. It was so pleasure to work with you guys. I'm so sad that you guys leaving. Nice work. And also, obviously, TAURI. Oh, that was a bit.
Don't worry, Yuki. They'll be back at the Japanese Grand Prix. You know, the Japanese Grand Prix, the Japanese brand Honda. Max Verstappen. Oh, we changed the rules again, or interpret the rules differently again, so we can award Max another drivers' championship at Japan. Oh, you couldn't make it up, could you?
Example, yeah. Sorry for the late. Yeah, that was tough.
Steady on, Yuki. The cars that were just behind you, Norris, Alonso, Ocon, Leclerc and Vettel, they're just finishing the race now. You know, calm down on your celebrations. This race is still going on.
Yeah, but thank you, Graham. We're going to miss you, but all of you guys, thank you very much.
Thank you, Yuki. Fail 84 fail, fail 84 fail. Yuki, Max won the race, and then Hamilton, Sainz, yourself, Gasly, Bottas, Norris, Alonso, Ocon, Leclerc.
Okay.
Come on, Yuki, you need to be celebrating harder than that. This is Supermax. Everybody should be celebrating good times for Supermax.
Stop at the bridge, stop at the bridge. P1 and then P0.
Like I say, the Red Bull B team is going to be pretty low-key from them. They're not going to be communicating anything which is going to cast any doubt whatsoever on the legitimacy of what has just taken place. So, as you can see there, they were complicit with breaking the rules of the sport and just smoothly just went with it. And that's what most of the teams did. They just smoothly went with breaking the rules of the sport and never called it out. All complicit with breaking the rules of the sport to manufacture that ending, a contrivance. So, that will do on this video. Next up is going to be the first Mercedes in this, as we're going forward through this order, which is Valtteri Bottas, who at that stage was in, what was he in? Fifth position in that race, wasn't he? Hamilton, Verstappen, Perez. Or did I miss out there when Perez retired and that boosted Yuki from 6th to 5th for that restart, that he then was able to challenge Bottas? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. We'll have a look next time. All right, so next one up, Valtteri Bottas. Thank you for your time on this one.